Hi, thanks for joining me. My name is Allison. Today I'm going to be doing a workout or a movement practice to alleviate some of the muscle tightness and soreness from my workout from yesterday. I am feeling really sore in the glutes and quads and in the abdominals from a tough workout yesterday. So I'm going to be moving in this practice today, not so much restoratively, but more mindfully and increasing mobility in the joints and the muscles. So join me. We're going to be starting in child's pose. Take your knees wide, your big toes together. Reach your hips back and your forehead to the ground. Arms reach forward. And just take a moment here to notice how your body is feeling. Do you have tightness in any space? For me, I'm feeling the tightness in my shoulders a bit. Rather, more than tightness, just a tenderness from the workout yesterday. Muscles feeling a little bit more tender, like they need a little massage. So staying here for a few rounds of breath and settling in. Then use your inhale breath to come up to tabletop position. In tabletop, ensure that your wrists are right underneath your shoulders, your hips are right over your knees, and just move your hips side to side. So as I do this, I can feel my outer hips, especially on the left side, feels like they will need a little more attention. I like to, after a tough workout, not come all the way down to really slow restorative, although that is wonderful. I like to make my muscles still move and kind of like wake them back up. Just come back to tabletop. And then just pressing down in your left hand, take your right arm forward, up, until you feel like it can't go any further here. And then turn the palm around all the way back and down through backstroke. Again, you're leading with the thumb up. When you feel like it's stuck, you can't go anywhere, turn the palm so the palm faces out, swing the arm around and down. We'll do a few more times like that. One more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, turn the palm around, bring the right hand back down. Same thing other side, left hand, palm up, reach up. Once you feel stuck here, turn the palm to face out and drag the arm down and around. Use your inhale to rise up. Exhale to pull back down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale around. Pressing into the hands, move the knees back so the knees are just behind the hips. Breathe in, shift the hips toward the wrists, untuck the toes, extend your spine, shoulders back, and exhale, pull your hips all the way back. A few rounds like this, you're dragging your hips forward, lift the chest, extend the spine, and exhale, pull back. So stretching out through the abdominals and really working the mobility here of the spine. Pull yourself forward and pull yourself back, and then float yourself back to tabletop. Draw the knees back in. We're going to do back from backstroke to front stroke. So taking the right arm back, the pinky side of the hand is reaching up. Reach it as far as you can until you feel stuck. Turn the arm the other direction and then all the way up and around. Again, you lead with the pinky. There will be a moment it feels a little stuck. Turn the palm to face out, up and around. So when you have had a hard workout or when you have gone on a long run or a long hike, it's really good the next day to keep those muscles moving. Maybe not at the 100% that you did before. Let's do the other side. So this practice is going to keep the muscles moving but not full force. Now take your left hand back behind you, pinky leads it. Turn the palm out, up and around. So again, finding that stuck point. The arm can't go anymore just because of how the body's put together. So you have to navigate that by turning the palm around and really noticing how the shoulder feels in that rotation. Let's do one more. Pinky leads, get stuck, turn it around, all the way back. Again, move your knees back. So the knees are just behind the hips. Breathe in, shift the hips forward, like you're dragging your hands back. Squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chin. Exhale, pull everything back. A few more rounds. Inhale, breath. Exhale. This is also a great practice to do. You're short on time and you just want to make sure you mobilize everything. This is one that you can come to for that specific reason. Inhale, breath. Exhale, pull everything back. Come back to tabletop. Drag your knees back in. Let's move into the hips. So you're in quadruped position. You're bringing your right leg up, knee in line with the hip. Try not to wing out your hip here. So drive your right hip down like a donkey kick. You're just pulling the right heel up. And now externally rotate, opening the right knee out to the side. Take the right knee toward your right upper arm, into your chest, and then restart right up to the sky. Roll open, kick it to the right shoulder or tricep into the chest and up and around. So as you're doing this, notice if your elbows are buckling and try and keep them nice and straight. If you're leaning to one side or the other. So just notice what's going on in the body to try and compensate if this feels really hard for you. We'll do one more, just like so. And then stretch the leg back behind you. Place the toes on the ground and press your heel back. So you're stretching out your calf. Press back like you're trying to touch your right heel to the mat. And then release. Again, stretch it all the way back. Press and release. And one more. And release. Lift the right leg back up. Bend the knee just like you did that donkey kick. And instead of taking out to the right, you're going to draw it into the chest first and then out to the right. Open, open, open until you feel it starts to internally rotate, and then you reset. Bring it back into the chest, out to the right. Big internal rotation of the hip and all the way in and around. Two more. Going so slow. I see people often doing these really fast, but go slow and see how much different it is for you. Now draw the knee into the chest, press the shoulder blades away, round the spine, drop your chin, hug the low belly in, breathe in, and breathe out. Let's drop the knee back down, sit back to your heels, interlace your fingers above your head, press the palms to the sky, open up the chest, see if you pull your arms back behind your ears. Inhale, breath. Exhale, round the spine, pull the hands right in front of the chin, the nose, pull the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, flex. And one more, inhale, extend. Exhale and flex. All right, check out the hands. Come back to hands and knees, your quadruped position, and then we'll do the other side. Take the left leg up behind you. Again, making sure not to wing out through the left hip. Drive up the heel and then start to open up the left knee to the side. So externally rotate. Take the left knee toward the left shoulder or tricep, in toward the belly. Kick it straight up to the ceiling. And we go again. Round and up. Good. All the way around. And all the way up. A few more rounds. Again, ensuring the elbows aren't bending. Nice and strong. Press down into the hands. Do one more. Lengthen the leg behind you. Place the toes onto the ground. Let's stretch out through the calf. So press your heel back. You feel that stretch all the way up the back of the leg. and release. Again, press it back. I feel it primarily in my calf muscle. Sometimes if your hamstrings are also really tight, you can possibly feel it there, and release. And one more, press back, and then release. Let's lift the leg up behind us. Again, that donkey kick, so bend the knee, hips in line with one another. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bring the knee into the chest first, round to the shoulders, and now take the knee out toward the left, and all the way up and around as it internally rotates. And again, press and out to the side, all the way up, and roll it in. A few more rounds. Good, last one. This time bringing the knee into the chest, press the floor with the hands, bring the knee as close as you can in, pull the belly button to the spine and shoulder blades driving apart from one another. Inhale, breath. Exhale. One more, breathe in. Exhale, drop the knee down next to the other, sit down onto your heels. Interlace other thumb on top, press the palms up, breathe in, extend your spine, lift up, look up, and breathe out, round your spine, pull the belly in. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull forward. And one more, inhale. And exhale. Release yourself back down to the ground, hands down, feet back, downward dog. Walk out your legs, shake out your head. Inhale, breath. Empty. And then ensure here that your downward dog is really powerful. You're pressing thumb and index finger knuckles firmly into the mat. You're finding this widening across the upper back, pulling the tricep muscles of the arms downwards toward the mat. The hamstrings feel tight. Please bend the knees a little bit. If you're feeling all right in the hamstrings, you can start to straighten out through the legs, pressing the heels and inner ankles downward. One more breath in. Empty. And then simply walk your feet to your hands, forward fold at the top of the mat. Hang out here for a few moments, especially after a long run or a workout that makes your hamstrings yell at you a little bit. Hanging out in a forward fold will feel hard at the beginning, but then nice as your body eases into it. So you can grab opposite elbows for ragdoll and just let your head drop. Keep lifting sits bones toward the ceiling. Exhale, fall into it a little bit deeper. You want to make sure that the weight here is distributed in the feet, but maybe a tiny bit more weight into the fronts of the feet so you feel your sits bones rising behind you. We do not want weight all into the heels. What will happen then is your knees will get locked, and then you're not stretching out the hamstrings as much as just hyperextending through the knees. Take one more breath in. And release the hands to the ground, heel toe the feet together. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, hands come into the heart. Big breath in, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift yourself halfway up. Tense your fingers on the ground, step your left foot all the way back. Drop your left knee. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Reach up, look up. Exhale, pull the arms back. Keep the right big toe pressed down as you pull your hips back, chest forward. Again, inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, pull your hips back. You really have to focus on balance here. Right big toe stays down. Again, inhale, rise up. Exhale, pull yourself back. Hold here. Press through the right big toe. Pull your shoulder blades back. Squeeze through your right kneecap. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, land the fingers down, and then just start to pull your toes off the ground. You'll feel your right hip pulling back a little bit. I want you to counter that with your chest pulling forward. One more inhale. Exhale, rebend your right knee. Kickstand your left foot to the right. And then wiggle the right foot a little bit more toward the left so that you have your right foot in line with your left knee if you drew a straight line. This is extended side angle or warrior two legs, just with the left knee down. So I want you to bend into your front knee, direct both hip bones toward the left. And then inhale, reach your right arm back like you're doing a reverse warrior. Stretch back, my left hand gently on my left leg. Inhale, breath. Get all that side body stretch. Exhale, bring your right hand down inside your right foot, and then lift the left arm up and overhead. Now think of tucking your right hip under a little more, using your right elbow into your right knee to curve your right hip under and open up the chest. Take one more breath here. Inhale, rise up. Turn the right toes to face the left side of the room. My left knee and my right big toe are in one line. Breathe in, breathe out, left hand down, right arm up and over, stretching out the right side body. This is super helpful if you worked out your obliques a lot. You're going to think of really rising up through the right side. I'm even going to bend my left elbow a little bit to get a little more stretch on the right side body. And use your inhale to rise up through center. A Parigrasana, your gate pose, reach your right hand forward and then down. It can land on a block if you can't get the ground, or fingers to the ground as you reach your left arm up and over and getting that stretch up the left side body. Try and drive your hips toward the left a little more. Inhale, lift up. Hips nice and level. Stick out the butt as you walk your hands forward. So this pose is getting your adductors, looks like downward dog, reaching toward the left side, but you're keeping your left knee down, the outer edge of the right foot down as you pull your hips back. And then your right adductors get a nice stretch up through the adductors. Nice, slow, steady breath. Move your hands back. Walk yourself back to the front of the mat. So kickstanding the left foot right back to where it was. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. Inhale, rise all the way up. Big stretch through the left hip flexors. When you find this nice crescent lunge, catch your left wrist with your right hand. Breathe in, lift your chest up. Breathe out, let's reach over toward the right. So you're trying to pull a little bit. It's a gentle pull of the left wrist up and over. Keep directing your left hip forward. Awesome, through the stretch of the hip flexor. Takes that stretch all the way up the left side body so you get that lateral stretch as well. Take one more breath in. Stay here on the exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands down, just moving right back to downward facing dog. Reach your right foot back. Shake out the legs. Big breath in, shift forward. Exhale, lower the knees, lower the chest to the mat. Lift up into cobra, shoulders back. Extending the spine, getting long in the front side of the body. Exhale, pull your hips back, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, and just simply walk your feet all the way forward to the top of the mat. Drop over the legs, relax the neck. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Heel toe the feet together. Inhale, rise up to standing. And exhale, hands pull to the heart. Let's do the other side. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, bow forward. Lift halfway, inhale. Hands down, they tent onto the ground. Right foot steps all the way back. Right knee down this time. Breathe in, reach the arms up and overhead. Get long in the front side of the body, reach up. As you exhale, keep the left big toe down. Just pull your hips back and the arms sail alongside you. And again, slow inhale as you peel up, open up. And slow exhale as you close over the left leg. And noticing the balance required, the focus required. Inhale, breath. Reach up. And exhale, pull back, hold here. Press the left big toe down. Pull the chest forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Put your fingers down as you pull your toes back. And then notice the weight wants to shift over just to the right side, so shift a little more weight to your left. One more breath in. Exhale, you're going to re-bend your left knee, kickstand your right foot out to the left, and then wiggle your left foot a little more center line. So you've got the left foot in line with the right knee. And then bend, flex through the left knee. Arms open up, inhale. Exhale, take your right hand gently onto your back leg, left arm up and over, side body stretch. And then find a really deep breath so that you're expanding the rib cage. You're stretching out the muscles that support breath, the diaphragm, the intercostal muscles, the upper back muscles all support the rib cage. So really breathe deeply, stretch all those out. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand down on a block or on the ground inside the left foot. Left knee stays bent, the right arm up and over. I'm going to use my right arm to press into my left thigh to press into my right arm, so I get a deeper external rotation. And then tuck your left hip under as you open up the chest, look up. Use your inhale breath to rise up. Turn the left toes to face right. Again, left big toe in line with the right knee. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up and over. And then I'm going to find this kind of rainbow action in my left side body. So I'm going to bend my right elbow just a little bit in order to get a bigger stretch across the lateral side of my body. Inhale, lift the chest away from the ground. So you're not dumping down here. You're pulling the chest up and back. Use your inhale breath to rise up. Level your hips. Open the arms. A Parigrasana is your gate pose. Reach your left hand forward. And then the left hand goes onto a block or onto the ground, just behind the leg. The right hand reaches up and over. One more inhale. Stay on the exhale. Use your inhale to come back up. And then the hips level, stick the butt back as you take the hands toward the right side. So again, it looks like downward dog in the upper body, and your legs staying in the same position. Press in the outer edge of the left foot to get that adductor stretch. And the more you can find an anterior tilt where you're lifting your pelvis, tilting, I should say, your pelvis toward the ceiling so that the sits bones are rising but the frontal hip bones are rolling toward the ground, then you'll feel this a little tiny bit more. At least I do. And then slowly move our hands back. Kickstand the right foot back where it was. Turn the left foot forward. Turn your body forward. Tuck the right toes. Lift the right knee to come into Crescent Lunge. Inhale, rise up. So shoulders over hips, hug the low belly in. Take your left hand, catch your right wrist. Breathe in, pull out the wrist up and out, and then lengthen the right side body as you lean over toward the left. Notice if you're letting your chest start to fall forward, I want your shoulders right over your hips here. Squeeze to the right leg. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands down, right away, downward dog. Shake out the legs. Big breath in and a big breath out. Shift forward, high plank, knees down, lower all the way down to the belly. Bend the knees behind you, grab onto the ankles, Big toes connected, shoulder blades back, lift up. See if you can keep the big toes connected as you lift up. Chin still stays tucked. You're not jutting the chin up toward the ceiling. Lift a little higher. Take one more breath in. Exhale everything down. Right arm goes out to the side so that the right elbow is in line with the shoulder. Left hand, like you're doing a push-up, goes right next to you. And then roll yourself to the right. Drop your the side of the head down, and then let your left toes fall behind you if possible. If you'd like more, catch your left foot with your left hand and kick back so you get a little more hip flexor stretch along with this awesome shoulder stretch. If you've got the foot, as you kick back, drive your tailbone under. So working a little more of a posterior tilt. You get more stretch then in your quad and your hip flexors. Come back around, back to center. Let's just take a moment in the center. Build a little pillow with your hands, rest your forehead, shake out your butt. Take a moment to notice the sensations you've created on that right side of the shoulder through the stretch. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Let's do the other side. The left elbow is in line with the left shoulder. The right hand by your ribs. And then roll yourself over toward the left. So one thing to note, I should have said on the other side, is when you are doing this, if this feels like too much, you can do it with a straightened arm. The left arm can be straight out to the side because this one is a little more intense. And start to let the right foot fall over to the right. If you can go further, you're going to reach around and grab the right foot. Kick the foot into the hand's creating resistance. And then create a little more resistance by driving your tailbone, tuck it under. So a little tilt of the pelvis is going to help that resistance. Now everyone just let go of the foot, come back around. Take a moment through the center. Again, building your little pillow. This time, moving your legs side to side. So wagging the legs left and right. And then release the legs down, hands by the ribs. Press yourself up and back as you come to child's pose. And in this child's pose, just note how different or similar this might feel to the first child's pose you did, the very beginning of the practice. 2 more rounds of breath in your child's pose. And then come up to tabletop position, downward facing dog. Lift up your right leg, bend the knee, roll open through the hip, big stretch. And step the right foot outside the right hand, lower the hips, lift the chest, and then bring it back up, all the way open. So this can be done also with a block underneath your hands. If getting your right foot to the outer right hand is really hard, yeah, it can be. So you just take hands on blocks as you step. Lift the chest, and we'll do one more. And drop your left knee. You can come onto your fingers, or I like to come onto my forearms, give my hands a rest. Just let my right knee roll out to the right. Even moving side to side sometimes gives a little bit of more access to feeling what's going on in the outer right hip. Come back onto your hands. Step back to downward facing dog. Just take note of the sensations you've created on that side. And let's move it to the other side. Left leg rises, bend the knee, roll the hip open, breathe in. As you exhale, bring the left foot outside the left hand. Again, if a block is needed just to help you get there, then hands on a block or hands on 2 blocks will be awesome. Lift the left leg up, exhale, step. A few more rounds, breathe in, Exhale as you step, you pull your chest through and lift the chest up. So I did say at the top of the class, this is not necessarily restorative. It's about mobility. Step the left foot forward and drop your right knee. You can stay on the fingers or you can come down to your forearms. But after a workout that really tests the muscles, keeping them mobile is a really powerful way to recover. It doesn't have to be, again, that 100% you gave in your tougher workout. You still want to get to like 60%. At least in my view, it feels really good to kind of keep the muscles working, but giving them some attention, some love. So you're just finding your variation of lizard lunge and staying just a few more rounds of breath. Come back onto the hands, tuck your right toes, lift the right knee, left leg up to the sky, roll it open, and then put the foot down, drop the knees down, swing the legs around, soles of the feet together, knees apart. Parigrasana, lift the chest, squeeze the knees toward the mat as you bow forward. If your mobility is such that it feels really, really uncomfortable doing this, you're going to bring your feet a little more forward, away from your pubic bone, but still keep that action of driving the knees down and the chest moving forward. You can play with where it feels like you're getting more of the stretch, getting a deep adductor stretch, nice external hip rotation, and then the extension of the spine as you forward fold. Use your inhale breath to come all the way up, and then hug the knees into the chest and just rock yourself back so your feet are off the ground. A little balance pose here, and give your ankles some love. So roll the ankles around in one direction and in the other and all the way around, flex and point. And then cross the legs, come to seated. You can spend the rest of the time in a rest pose of your choice, Shavasana or seated meditation, just a moment to reflect. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to rehab and recover through mobility work. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.